One of my subscribers has asked me to rebuild the worst team in Madden, but 20 years in the future. But if you guys want one of your comments featured in a video like this, make sure you like and subscribe. We will be approaching, well, we are approaching 10,000 subscribers, and we will be hitting 10,000 subscribers very soon. I really appreciate that, and huge shout out to this comment. It's actually a really sick idea, one of the best ones I've seen in a long time. So if you guys have any unique ideas, let me know down in the comments below. Please don't make them mega complicated. But looking into the teams, the Ravens still look like ballers, and they're my favorite team, of course, 87 overall. Let's see what the highest overall team is, lowest overall team. Lowest overall team so far I'm seeing is the Titans with 83 overall, but they have 3 X Factors and an X Factor QB. Seeing 83, Bills are in 87, Ravens are in 87. Really, in the future, everyone's just stacked out. I think it's because the draft classes, all these draft classes are set on normal. Looks like the Jets are an 84 overall. The Titans at an 83 overall look like the lowest overall team in the entire league. Wow, 83 is the lowest? That's surprising. They have 3 X Factors. The Tennessee Titans. Wow, this guy has a triple neck. Look at it. He has like donuts strangling him. Are those like literal chokers around his neck, or are those his neck rolls strangling him? Like, I know I'm dissing the AI right now, but holy crap. Anyways, looking into the team, year 2043, as you can see in the top. Adjust lineup. Let's see where X Factor QB is. Let's see the offense. How this is the worst team 20 years from now. God, your children's genetics just went through the roof, bro. But looks like George Route out of Stanford. He's 32 years old. He's an X Factor. So this may be a little bit iffy. Also, is he wearing 18? I'm going to puke. Okay, he is wearing 18. That is awful for a quarterback. But why is this loading so slow? I guess I'm playing online rosters. Who is this guy? We got Raphael Hunt, 26 years old, out of Utah. We also have a superstar receiver who's a low overall. Mitch Matlock out of LSU, superstar dev. He's just really young, so I was wondering why he was such a low overall. Cameron and this guy Harris. I have 2 X Factor tight ends here. God, this is loading really slow. He's 31 years old. The other guy, Harris, may be a little bit younger. My O-line looks so good. This is the worst team in 20 years from now in Madden. 28 years old, so they're both X Factors, but they're both kind of on the older side for Madden. I have this guy. Wow. I have honestly a really stacked team. This is really good. I'm going to set up my playbooks the way I always like them. Let's do multiple zone around 4-3 under. Wow, they already have it set up for me. Then Buffalo offense and Kansas City defense is usually what I rock out. It's total hit or miss for me. But this is the worst team in Madden 20 years from now, which is kind of crazy to me. Really crazy that it's this good. 3 X Factors on the team, 4 X Factors, including my backup tight end. But we're going to see how we do at the midseason mark, maybe get a future QB, but for now, let's just move into it. Here we are at the midseason mark. Worst rated roster in the league at 83-84 at the boost. Now is now top of the division with my new playbooks and me coming in as the coach. And I mean, basically the triple neck coming in as the coach. Always going to diss him. But for our scouting national focus, I do, what do I want specifically? Wide receiver is one of our scouts that we're looking at. I wouldn't mind a receiver 3. Defensive tackle, I would say, is a need for us because having a lot of depth at the defensive tackle position is really big for Madden simulation. But 5-2, top of the division, completely turn around this team. If it was bad before, I wouldn't know. My defense is trash. I don't know what a good defensive playbook is in Madden. I feel like Atlanta, I've tried, is good. Kansas City used to be so cracked at everything. Offense, defense, it didn't matter. I feel like it's just such trash now. It's so annoying how they change these playbooks and schemes. I know they change in real life every year, but in Madden, if you're going to copy and paste the same game, at least copy and paste the same cheese plays. Like, come on now. Anyways, we got some weekly awards. I'll skip over that. Where's the... Oh, it's on auto still. My league settings, I forgot to change that because I didn't want the team that I was using to be total trash whenever I got here. Jeremy Harris, he's an 80 overall, superstar X Factor tight end. I don't need him. We have a new QB, Caleb Young, who's just not interested in. Oh, looks like the AI offered all of these guys just garbage contracts and they're not coming back. All right. Caleb Young, I wouldn't have mind because our other quarterback is regressing and he's old. Calvin Stackhouse, a wide receiver. We desperately need a wide receiver, actually. Left tackle, Daniel Johnson. Wouldn't be a bad guy I would like to offer here. I'll do 2 years. Actually, I'll just stick with 1 year. I'll increase the money for right now. He's going to re-sign. And anything else here? QB, a third-string QB with Star Dev. Wow, a lot of older guys on this team, so I can definitely say it's the worst team. Like, even our QB is older, and he's going to start regressing. Our entire O-line is just old as shit, dude. It's so bad. Mitch Wilcox, I will accept his 5th-year option if I do get that chance. But anyways, let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, and I can't even see my standings. Thank you, EA, for your marvelous game that you produce, and it's total trash. We are second in the division here. We are 13. Rank 13 in the entire league. I thought it meant in our conference. I was like, we didn't make the playoffs. We were the 13th best at 10-7. I was about to lose my mind. Okay, second in the division, 10-7. Colts take the division at 10-7 because the glitches in Madden. Oh, and it's fixed now. How convenient. And my offense is suddenly trashed, even though I changed my defensive scheme. EA Sports. Makes total sense. Anyways, George Route, really not even crazy for an X Factor. 23rd offense, 25th defense. 26 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, 103 passer rating, 3,400 yards. Not impressive, but not crazy. Raphael Hunt, 7 touchdowns, 3.4 per carry. Not even good. Receiving-wise, Calvin Stackhouse, old, but 9 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Mitch Matlock, not even that crazy. This is the worst roster. At first, looking at it, I was surprised, but compared to other teams, it's just not even close. Jeff Warmack, 17 tackles for a loss, sacks, 6.5 for Jeff Warmack, and receptions 2 for Miles McFadden. Safeties 0, defensive touchdowns is 0. But team needs a lot of improvements. I'm going to trash this old team and move in with the youth if I could. So let's move into the offseason. And the Broncos beat the Commanders in 2043. Halfback J.D. Holcomb, a different Holcomb, not Cole Holcomb, who used to be a Commander. You can say J.D. Holcomb is the son of Cole Holcomb. He wins the Super Bowl MVP on the Commanders. Barry Medlock, the Ravens' new QB, wins Super Bowl MVP. There are no Titans here for any yearly awards. Let's see if there's any team upgrades. And actually, I got to see the 2043 retirements. How many players on our team did retire? We have a pretty old team. I would say no one. Okay, no one in the AFC South for the Titans, of course. Retired a lot of AFC South players, and coaches even retired. But we're going to see what we have for the team upgrades offensively. Anything different that I notice off a rip? No, I just noticed a lot of regression players. This guy regressed that far? Was he just playing off a boost? Because he was like a 26-year-old. Now he's 27. Not even crazy. Like, yikes, dude. Yikes. We're in a predicament now. Potter, A. Potter. This guy, younger. This guy, are you an edge rusher? He is a speed rusher. And he's a superstar dev. He's 23 years old. I'm going to move this guy down to left end. If I noticed him earlier, I thought he was a pass protector, so I kept him at left outside linebacker. We're going to move this guy to left end. Hopefully he can help there. And then Warmack, I believe, was the guy. No, not Warmack. It's Vanover and Jackson. I don't know who that is, but Vanover. How big is James Vanover? Almost 300 pounds. He's 6'6". I'm going to move this guy inside to defensive tackle. And we'll move from there. It's like showing up to the NFL with no knowledge of what's happening. It's basically like the Raiders front office, you know? They're just like, oh, cool, we did something, and our team still sucks. Nice. But McFadden, how old are you? Miles McFadden's 34. I need a whole new DB group. I need new receivers. I need a new line. My running back, honestly, isn't even that good. And for the league settings, I need to go back and change the franchise staff points to auto as well. For the re-signings, Mitch Matlock is going to get a 5th-year option. I want him on the team. Jeremy Harris, don't need. Caleb Young, don't want. Jamal Jackson isn't bad, but just not needed. I need to figure out who's trash and who's good and what I need to look for in the long term. Don't need a 38-year-old punter and 64 overall kicker. I need a punter, I need a kicker, I need new O-line, new receivers, new DBs. Let's look in free agency. Honestly, one of the weakest free agency classes I've ever seen. Everyone is just stupid old. They're like 35 with an X factor. So I got a kicker and a punter that are really young, I guess. Like, I've never had to deal with this problem. Anyways, let's move in to the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up wide receiver Dean Coleman out of Oklahoma, 6'1", 192, hidden dev, 95 speed, 92 acceleration is really good. A spec catch, A deep route, B catching, he seems great. In the second round, I'm picking up defensive tackle Thomas Cheeks out of Wisconsin, 6'3", 300 pounds, hidden dev, very athletic, 88 strength, A finesse moves, B tackle, B awareness. In the third round, I am balling right now. Joey Peak out of Auburn, 6'1", 205, hidden dev, 92 speed, 91 acceleration, A hit power, A press, C zone coverage. For a third round pick, hidden dev corner is really good. Now, this is the team moving into year number 2 of the, well, technically year number 2044. Dean Coleman, my bad, is 78 overall. He looks good. I need a receiver 3. Who is this Barker guy? Is he a tight end? Yeah, he is a tight end. So I'll just keep him there. Barker's going to be a second string. Who is Whitehead? He's a second string. He's a second string left tackle at Fresno State. Sure, you're playing center. I do not care. I do not need depth defensive linemen. I have so many depth defensive linemen, so I think just the players over a long period of time just all become cracked and every team just becomes good, which I guess makes sense because later down, like, look, I have second string Simmons, second string Spitzer as well with all these other offensive linemen. It's crazy. Defensively, what do we got? Cheeks is there. We're going to move Cheeks. I did not even click Vanover. I do not like playing online franchise. It is very slow in my opinion. But Cheeks, we're going to move to number 3 here. Peak. Do I start Cox over him? Cox, baby. How young is Cox? How young is the cock? He is not very young. Very old cock. Anyway, let's see what we have for the defense. Peak, we're going to move to number 1. Cox is going to be at number 2. Potter 3, Favors is on the edge, and Jones, specialist. Let's see what we have. Favors, is this guy an elite edge rusher? He is an 85 overall speed rusher. Why is he playing right outside linebacker? I understand there can be speed rusher outside linebackers, but like, God. And okay, whatever. I'm gonna discard the changes on that. I'm not even gonna change that for right now. Just leave it where it is. Put Peak in the slot as well. I don't care. Warmack is going to be rushing off the edge. Is this guy an edge rusher as well? Why do I have edge rushers playing in a 4-3 scheme? It was 4-3 before I got here. McCain is going to move inside, so that way I do not have to. Actually, he would be not a very good inside player. He's 28 years old anyways. So, a little bit weird that the AI has that, but at least we have a lot of edge rushers that we can use. So anyways, let's move into the midseason mark. 2-4. I show up, I make the team a little bit better, a little bit younger, and the AI is like, no, we're not doing that. They don't like it. We're going to do scouting national focus for receiver again. I need a receiver 3. My O-line is fun. My QB is great. I would like to have a better running back if that's possible. And honestly, we're 20 years into the future. I'm going to trade for a running back because I do not like the one that we currently have. Averaging 3.4 per carry is not going to cut it. Clarence Baldwin, 29 years old. I don't even know if I could afford that. This guy is superstar X Factor, and he is quite good. Who do they want for him, technically? Can I even see this? Get offers. Can I not see the trade package offers for this guy? I thought you could do that. Raphael Hunt, my 1st, my 5th, and my 7th. For this running back, Richardson, whoever he is. We're going to take him, pick him up, and I'm also going to go to the trade center and trade away one more player for a super late first-round pick, so that way I still have a first-round pick despite what it is. A right tackle as well. I think I have a depth right tackle, do I not? I do. I have Spitzer, who is kind of young, so Adrian Spitzer, and McCain for the Bills, pick 25 projected pick. So I still have some good value here, but I want this running back because running backs are huge for Madden simulation, and I don't need so many outside linebackers that I already have. So I think this is an actual upgrade, especially for simulation. That's fine with me. Anyways, we got a new running back. Let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 8-9. 2-4 to 8-9 isn't horrible. Like, I never know what a good defensive playbook is. It is so frustrating in Madden. It doesn't matter what I look up or what I try. Everyone seems wrong about it. Defensive playbooks. Why am I in Denver's offense? Oh my God, I didn't even choose that. It was just like, nope, we're gonna choose whatever we want for you. No wonder why my team is playing like trash. Anyways, and I'm running a 3-4 under. I thought I was running a base 4-3. What? Oh my God. 3-4. Where is base 4-3? Base 4-3 doesn't have any scheme fits, but nor does 4-6. So Buffalo. And we got the Atlanta defense, which hasn't been good, but sometimes when you change an offensive scheme, your defense suddenly does better, which doesn't make sense. trash from George Route, but he was playing in Denver's playbook. Offense 21st, defense 24th. Great. 22 touchdowns to 9 receptions, 100 pass rating, 3,300 yards. Isaiah Richardson, 19 touchdowns, 5.1 per carry, 1,500 yards. He was worth that pick. Mitch Matlock, 5 touchdowns. Really good ball distribution, but it's like nothing crazy. Defensive, Tyree Truman, 96 tackles for a loss, 17 for Jeff Warmack. Sacks, 6.5 for Javonte Favors, 6.5 for Tyler Kovacs, I believe is how you say that, and Jeff Warmack with 5.5 sacks. Interceptions, 2 for Anzalone Potter, not Harry Potter. 0 safeties, defensive touchdowns, 1 for Potter as well. But no playoffs, back-to-back years. Did we get one in year number 1? Did I just simulate to the end? Because I believe we were 10-7. I might have just simulated to the end, or you might have just missed the playoffs at 10-7. Either way, it's in the past. Let's move into the offseason. In the offseason, the Falcons beat the Texans in the Super Bowl. Quarterback Troy Russell for the Falcons wins the Super Bowl MVP. Quarterback for the Texans, Jeffrey Franklin, wins the league MVP. And there are no awards here for the Tennessee Titans. It seems like the Texans are the really dominant team here. They had a lot of players there. Even though they lost the Super Bowl, they still seem like a dominant team. AFC South, looks like our left tackle retires. I think we have a new one on standby, actually, which is crazy. And we're going to see what we have for our roster upgrades, if there is anyone for our roster upgrades. Hopefully Coleman has Superstar or something like that. He does have Superstar. That's awesome. And is this Simmons guy a left tackle or a right tackle? What does he profile as? Left tackle. He's 23 years old. I had so many rotations for linemen. That's kind of crazy. Route is regressing, but hopefully we can get him better receivers for the long-term future. I need better DBs for sure if in free agency. Cheeks is a superstar dev. That's awesome to see. And Douglas is a superstar dev free safety who's 6 foot 205, 24 years old. I'm not going to let him go to waste. He is a good player. He's going to play DB because I need DB desperately. I was thinking about linebacker, but being 205 for a linebacker is a little bit light. So Douglas is going to play 79 overall DB. And yeah, it seems good. I need a middle linebacker, a left outside linebacker. I need probably higher overall DBs. I would like a veteran in here. And I need a new receiver, probably a new tight end to replace that regressing tight end. Let's move into the re-signings. For the re-signings, Tyler does not want to be here, but I have his 5th-year option. This guy, Rob Barker, would not be bad depth for us, actually. So we'll do player-friendly deal. That's actually relatively cheap. We'll take him. And James Vanover, don't really need. Caleb Younger, don't really need either. He's mega old. Don't need that guy. Snapback, not bad. Don't need him. Don't need the tight end. Okay. A lot of players I'm losing here because they're mega old. Need some new free agency fill-ins. Let's move into it. Yeah, so I don't think I've seen a good actual, 26-year-old free agent. All these guys are just trash old dudes just waiting to retire. Left guard, Brent Thompson, superstar dev, super old, had a moderate interest. I'm going to move him to center. Middleton, super old, X Factor, going to be a starter for now. And Trayvon White, X Factor defensive tackle. These guys are just so old in Madden, and this far in the future, even Madden can't even fix their long-term game, bro. It can't fix anything in this garbage game. But we're going to move Thompson officially into center. I don't care if I'm moving these guys around a lot. I need these guys playing on the inside, so let's move him officially to the inside. And honestly, the team doesn't even look bad offensively. Route regressing is a little bit concerning. I saw a 90 overall, 28-year-old QB in free agency, but I would have to trade routes, and then I would have to hopefully have him sign here, which is a bit of a stretch. I still need DB. I would like to have depth at middle linebacker. I need left outside linebacker. I need a receiver 3. There's still a lot to work on here. Let's move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up wide receiver Isaiah Potts out of Oklahoma. It seems like it's Coleman's teammates, but he's 5'10", 193, 95 speed, 92 acceleration, hidden depth. Basically the same guy, similar weight, 1 pound heavier, but he's 5'10 instead of 6'1". A ball carrier vision, B deep route, B release. He's solid. He'll be our receiver 3. In the third round, I'm picking up left outside linebacker Zach Ingram out of Florida State. 5'11", 222 weight, hidden dev, solid athleticism, A awareness, A tackle, B man coverage. Solid for a third round pick. Year number 3 for the Titans, I think. I forgot what year we're on. I'm assuming it's 3. Potts is a 74 overall. Got some good young receivers here. Not crazy high overalls for route though, which would be very good. Richardson still, of course, very good. And Ingram's a 74 overall. Not crazy DBs. Douglas, I'll move to the 1 just because he has superstar dev. How old is Truman? Truman is actually 25. He's actually a good piece long-term for us, even with normal dev. Peak is going to be depth. Roten I got in the 2nd round, who's a high overall, just no dev, really sucks. Got nice depth at the defensive tackle position, which I always like. Really good team overall, but in this league, I don't know if that's enough because this league is stacked with other teams. Got to keep that in mind, but team looks good. Excited to see what we have for year number 3. And with, of course, actually, I'm going to make sure. I was going to say, of course, with the Buffalo's correct playbooks, but let's just see just in case because I don't want to get screwed again. Buffalo, Atlanta, base 3-4, multiple zone run is exactly what I wanted, and that is good enough for year number 3 in time to move in to the midseason mark. 4-2, second in the division, but the rest of the division's pretty contested. The Texans being 6-1, as I said before, very, very high contenders here, and the Colts are 4-3. So if we lose today or the next week against the Colts, we could lose out of this division entirely, which of course would be terrible. And what do I want for my team now? Probably middle linebacker, I would say. Not really a weakness of the class, so I guess I'll go middle linebacker. I don't really know a huge need for this team. O-line seems pretty stacked to me. Tight end, young at tight end and receivers. Mitch Matlock, I do want for the rest of the rebuild. I'll just give him a player-friendly deal. He re-signed. Jeff Warmack, even though he's 30, I still want him for the rest of the rebuild. He's a 91 overall superstar X Factor. George Rout, I want to see how far he regresses. And I want to see if there's someone else in free agency because I've seen some X Factor QBs in free agency, honestly. But DeAndre Johnston, I want back for the rest of the rebuild too. Tyree Truman, even though he doesn't want to be here, I'll offer him more. $6 million a year really isn't bad, but he still doesn't even accept it on a very player-friendly contract. Kurtz Hoffman, the right tackle, I'll just want him back for the rest of the rebuild. We'll give him player-friendly here as well. And Zach Mason, is he a second string? I think he is. But 25 years old isn't bad, and for a second string, he's cheap. So if I need him in rotation, I can have him. Caleb Richard, I'll do 3 years with him, passing up his contract so easily. And free safety, Donovan Jones, 30 years old. I'll let him hit free agency. If I find someone better, I'll sign someone else. If I can't, I'll just re-sign him because he still has a high interest. And Trayvon White, I'll just do another year, actually. Just do 2 years here so I can keep him for the rest of the rebuild. The X Factor's abilities actually matter in Madden Simulation, believe it or not, despite your overall. Left tackle Ernie Simmons. He's 23 years old. He's young, 77 overall. So George Rout, I'm waiting on. Truman, I still want back. Donovan, I'll let hit free agency. I want to see how far Rout regresses at 35 years old for a quarterback. You really don't play that long with 35-year-old quarterback. Let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs as we are 12-5, second in the division, so we get a wild card round against the 8-9 Dolphins. I think it's dumb in the playoffs how a team goes 12-5 and I still have to play at home to the Dolphins, who are a losing team. Anyways, coming off a win to the Cardinals, 12-5, the Texans are stacked in our division as well. George Rout, really good in the Buffalo offense, 5th best offense and the 5th best defense. That was a huge change going from Denver to Buffalo. Rout, 4,200 yards, 36 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 112 pass rating. How can I not re-sign him after that? And then Isaiah Richardson, 1,100 yards, 4.1 per carry, 9 touchdowns. Huge step back from last year, but still overall not a bad season. Mitch Matlock, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Isaiah Potts, the rookie, 9 touchdown, almost 1,000 yards. Dean Coleman, almost 1,000 yards, but only 3 touchdowns. Defensively, Kamal Middleton, 114 tackles for a loss, 15 for DeAndre Johnston, and sacks, 9.5 for Tyler Kovacs, my bad. 8 sacks for Javonte Favors and 7 for Jeff Warmack. 1 interception, 5 total interceptions the entire year. Zach Ingram with one of them, the rookie, 0 safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns. Interesting defensive year, but still is ranked 5. Our offense is ranked 5. If we lose at home to a losing record team, yeah, that's Madden for you. It looks like we lost by a 2-point conversion at the last second. EA Sports for you, dude. Let's move into the offseason. Denver wins another Super Bowl, and the Panthers don't get their revenge on the Broncos in the Super Bowl. This would be 30 years later from 2015. They do not get their revenge. And Joe Winston, defensive back for the Broncos, wins the Super Bowl MVP. Titans, George Rout wins NFL MVP. Of course, he's getting a contract after that. I did not think he was going to get that MVP. But we lose in the wild card round. The MVP loses in the wild card round. 21-22 to an 8-9 Dolphins team. AFC South, a bunch of Texans players retired. They might be screwed because of that, which would be really good for us. Mike Vrabel retires on the Colts. Got fired from the Titans. All right, interesting. And let's see what we have here for the team upgrades. I understand he's regressing, but without the boost, he's an 85. You start as an 88, he gets league MVP, and they're like, yeah, the best we can do is -3 overall. That's the dumbest thing ever. Isaiah Potts had a 1,000-yard season, and he doesn't get superstar dev. Really? Did he get rookie of the year or anything? I would assume he would. He almost had a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns. That was a pretty good rookie year. I guess not. Thought he would get superstar dev too, but good receivers, solid O-line, good tight end. That was really the year for us to do it. Ingram has star dev. And anything else? A bunch of regressing old players. I would like a veteran DB that has a high overall, veteran middle linebacker or outside linebacker. Maybe even, no, not another defensive tackles. Don't need that. Free safety, middle linebacker. And that would be about it for me. I need to re-sign my quarterback, of course. Hopefully we'll have enough money for free agency, so let's move into the re-signings. For the re-signings, Ernie Simmons, I'll just do the 5th-year option. George Rout, of course, I'm going to give him a player-friendly contract after winning league MVP. His contract went from $42 million to $25 million. That's huge that we waited on that. Tyree Truman, we will just do player-friendly once again for you, and he's not interested in signing after back-to-back plus money. All right. Donovan Jones already gave an explanation to that. $69 million. I need a DB. I need a free safety. I want another linebacker. Let's move in free agency. After free agency, once again a weak class. I kid you not, a punter was at the top of the free agents. Mason Pierman, 93 overall punter. How do you even get to be a 93? And it's by a wide margin. 86 is the next best. He's 34 years old, meaning he was probably a 99 overall punter at one point. How does that happen? My signings, though, if there's an X Factor depth defensive end there, sure, I'll take it. Got a veteran DB. I wish it was a higher overall, but 83 was the top there. Donovan Jones was the top free safety, and Matthew Ragland is going to be a depth middle linebacker. Just a lot of depth. It's a lot of old guys in the future, but let's just move into the draft. In the first round, I'm picking up defensive back Morgan Hewitt out of Auburn, 5'11", 190, hidden dev, 91 speed, 90 acceleration. I don't have any high overall DBs, but I sure do have a lot of depth, A catching, B press, B zone coverage. Here we are after the draft, going into the 4th and final season. Overall, not a bad team that I built. I had to get rid of a lot of the old trash that the AI likes to build up, but looks like the AI picked up this guy named Eason and Hillhouse, T. Hillhouse. I thought it was going to be Tillhouse. Hewitt's a 73. He's the lowest overall DB on my team because I have so much depth here, which is kind of crazy. Wish I could have... Hughes is here. If Hughes is going to be here and going to move Warhammer over Kovacs, then I do want to move him inside to defensive tackle just for the reason of I would rather have more depth defensive tackles than the AI screwing with my edge rushers, which I really don't like. So he was going to be an 82 overall defensive tackle instead of an 84 overall pass rusher, and I'm fine with that. Specialist, like all that. Hewitt, let's put him there. Potts is going to be in the slot. Ingram is going to move here. Everything looks pretty good. 4th and final season. Please, AI, do not screw me. Let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, going 12-5 top of the division. Texans are 11-6, so all those retirements did make a huge impact, going from 15-2, not 5-2, 15-2 to 11-6, coming off a win to the Raiders. But this time we're hosting Miami, but I'm sure we'll lose regardless because it's Madden. But let's see what we got. George Rout, another great season, 3rd best offense in the NFL. Defensively, we're 14th. I don't understand how that makes sense. 4,100 yards, 33 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 115 passer rating. Isaiah Richardson, 17 touchdowns, 5.3 per carry, almost 1,400 yards. Mitch Matlock, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Dean Coleman, 7 touchdowns, 965 yards. Isaiah Potts, only 4 touchdowns, kind of a mid-season, but still. He started in the slot, too. Made sure he was there. Kamal Middleton, 105 tackles, tackles for a loss, 14 for Jeff Warmack, sacks 10 for Tyler Kovacs. Imagine if I had him on the bench. Javonte Favors was 7.5, and Jeff Warmack was 7 sacks. Josh Douglas, the free safety that moved down to defensive back, 6 interceptions. Safety 0, defensive touchdowns is 0. But anyways, for the 4th and final year, please let me get a playoff win with the worst team 20 years in the future after rebuilding them. I do. 21-16, here to face our divisional rivals with 3 overalls higher than them. Home field advantage against the Texans. We lose. 28-21. Look at our team ranks. Greens everywhere. My rush game is 25th after having 2 X Factors and a superstar and a star player on my defensive line. How is my defensive line 25th and rushing? All right. We're going to lose here in the divisional round. Unsuccessful rebuild. Probably should have hopped in. Texans lose another Super Bowl here, this time to the Buccaneers. Ken Medlock, I thought that was the Ravens QB, wins the Super Bowl MVP. Tommy Randolph wins back-to-back league MVPs. Or is it back-to-back? I don't know. Titans, no awards for them. Cool video idea, really like it. I just couldn't rebuild them in time. A little bit unfortunate. 87 overall team. Still thought I built enough, and I don't think I will be able to do it in year number 5 because Route is now an 81 overall without the boost. So without Route, I don't have it anymore, which is really unfortunate. It looks like they cut my defensive tackle. Or he just retired. He probably just retired. Douglas gets up to an X Factor. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for the idea. Make sure you like and or subscribe. And I'll see you guys all in the next one.